between homes as they've been sprinting down the road. We witnessed the police run around a corner to take down the first suspect that was taken into custody. We couldn't actually see the arrest from where we were positioned. We wound up stopping our car because there was so much gunfire going between these homes. We stopped our car as police were telling everyone to stop where they were so that they could try to get this under control. A short time later, after it appears they removed that first suspect from the area, they were able to find a second suspect, it appears, maybe a block to a block and a half away. They had guns drawn, pointed at a suspect. They were screaming something at him, and then it just seemed to calm down. And what we could hear over the radio was to back away from the vehicle in case there were more explosives, and then we were hearing police yelling, "Second suspect in custody."
But that's not yet been confirmed by your eyes anyway.
Not by my eyes, but the radio traffic is all indicating that, and just by the demeanor of the police officers, things are beginning to calm down a bit.
And agencies, Sean, from, I assume, Watertown, I assume Massachusetts State Police, what else have you seen?
I just saw one of the Boston police superintendents just came running over to our car to make sure that we weren't suspects of any kind. We had to roll down the window to show that we just kind of got caught in all of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm curious to know, we were speaking with Todd Wallace a little while ago, and he said that he saw a Homeland Security vehicle. Have you seen any Homeland Security vehicles where you are located?
I haven't. The vehicles I'm looking at appear to all be, I'm looking at Transit Police, MBTA Transit Police, Watertown Fire, Boston Police, possibly FBI, a handful of Boston Undercover. I can tell you from coming from the direction of Cambridge, I have to believe at least a handful of these are Cambridge vehicles. That's where this...
That may have been where it started, Sean. And
well, I believe, from what we could tell, from where we picked this up, it was on Memorial Drive, at around 816 Memorial Drive, in the area of the Mobile gas station and the Shell gas station.
Sean, just hold on for just a second. We've got a live shot up right now of Watertown, and you can see the cameras are there. You can see there are a number of people there. I assume a lot of them are reporters. I assume a lot of them are people who live in the neighborhood as well. All right, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt your story, but that's what everyone's looking at.
That's fine. I mean, I can tell you that people who have stuck their heads out the doors here on Dexter have all been ordered immediately back into their home.
Watch out, Todd.
We've made efforts to get out of our vehicle, and we've been ordered back in.
So I'm not sure which camera this is. This might be Todd's camera.
This would be with Todd Wallace,
this would be
right? This would be our second crew.
And Todd was actually at Mount Auburn and Lloyd, which is not far from where Sean is speaking to us right now. Sean is at Laurel Street and Dexter Street, at that intersection. But this camera is a little further away, up on Mount Auburn and Lloyd.
I don't know. Hey, it looks like one of the suspects was removed.
All right, we're going to leave our affiliate WCBB just for a moment. I want to go to our other affiliate, WHDH, to hear what they're reporting. Let's listen.
Get down, and I got down behind the car door, behind the car, and he got down, I believe, behind a police car. It was a matter of just getting down as quickly as you could at the nearest possible place. So he was about 10 feet in front of me. And then I believe that when they told us to get back even further, when I heard something of a hand grenade, he must have followed me, but that's when I lost him for a short while. But he and everyone else has been moved back now on the other side of this yellow tape. I don't know what he was able to shoot video-wise, but I think he was rolling right up until that moment where we were basically fearing for our lives. And never in my reporting career have I felt so vulnerable.
Well, we are glad you're safe, Adam, and you did the right thing by trying to find cover. We're being told that in this video we're watching here, at some point we might see the suspected gunman at some point. We're not sure where. And this is the part, right there on the ground. Oh, okay.
There we go.
Wow, Neil did a great job. And this is where they're backing up here, I guess.
Okay.
Does he have a...
His eyes seem to be closed. His arms are spread. He's
spread
on
out.
his stomach.
He's on his stomach on the ground, but that is the point where they were backing up. And it's interesting that they are backing up, Adam, and perhaps that he was threatening that he had some sort of a weapon on him. His hand, doesn't appear to be anything in his hands.
Nothing?
No, doesn't appear to be anything in his hand.
This is unbelievable.
And this again happening just moments ago. Adam, you still with us?
I'm still with you at one point, and again, this is just what I heard from police. I can't go on the record.
No.
We're watching the guy.
We're watching. He's laying on the ground.
Crossed, some jogging pants with a stripe up along the side, brown hair.
To Laurel Street. It crosses school and goes into Laurel Street.
Okay, and what did you experience tonight?
Well, I had heard, first I heard a loud explosion type sound, and then just a mass of police cars heading down Mount Auburn Street, but there were so many they couldn't tell which direction they were going. And then about half an hour ago, I heard a couple of sounds on my street, so I came out to check, and there were like 20, 25 police cars. And now the end of Mount Auburn Street at Spruce is blocked off. I'm hearing a helicopter coming overhead, and police are telling people coming out of their houses to go back in. They don't want to be here, and anybody who has no business on the street to just leave.
I want to give folks a reference to where you are, Greg, if I'm not mistaken. You say you're on Spruce Street, and it looks like Spruce Street runs into School Street, and then it becomes Laurel Street on the opposite side of School Street. So,
and then a short distance from there, it goes into Dexter Ave.
Exactly. Right. So where you are, it looks like it's a very short distance to where this initial takedown took place at Laurel and Dexter Streets in Watertown.
Yes, it's very close.
Did you hear the gunshots? Did you experience personally the gunshots?
I did hear them from my window,
right.
And I was watching the MIT news coverage, and then a short time later I heard gunshots off from my window, and I didn't think they were related. I thought there was something else, but then I kept on watching the news, and then all this started happening.
Well, let me just be clear, Greg. We do not know if these
There's the
incidences
helicopter
are
he's
related.
talking about, by the way. That's the helicopter.
There's the helicopter you were just talking about. We have not connected the dots between the MIT incident and this incident. However, they have all happened within a relatively close proximity of one another in terms of distance and as well as timing this evening.
Well, Greg, thank you. You are safe. That is the most important thing, right?
Yes, I am safe, and my street seems to be safe, and everybody is inside and not creating any kind of commotion.
Well,
I just want to leave our affiliate WHDH there for a moment. You saw the gunman there, flat on his face on the road, surrounded by police. I want to go to our CNN photojournalist, Gabe Ramirez, who is there at the scene. Gabe, tell us what you have been able to witness at this point.
Hey, I am in Watertown, near the corner of Dexter and trying to say, near the corner. What's the street? I'm sorry, I'm getting Quimby. We rolled up here about 10 minutes ago. I did, and police were in a standoff with a vehicle just down the hill. They all had their weapons drawn. As soon as I could hear their orders to him to strip down all his clothes. He was ordered out of his vehicle, and he was placed under arrest. He was put into a Austin police vehicle. There are multiple agencies here from Watertown, Newton, and state police. And I overheard Police Chief Linsky, who was on the scene, say that the second suspect was in custody, and they needed to deposit out ID. So that's what I have here now. I'm sorry, I apologize, but it's quite a chaotic scene right now, as you can imagine.
Totally understand, Gabe. So just to clarify there, basically you say both suspects there at MIT are in custody. Has any link...
No. I'm in Watertown. No, I'm in Watertown.
Right, okay.
One of the suspects involved in the police shooting here this evening was taken into custody now. The implication, or the implication from police here is that possibly one of the two suspects that they've been looking for, they have not been clear on that point, obviously, That is the implication. We don't know.
Okay, so they have made that link. What gives you the feeling that that person, that suspect, is linked to the Boston bombings? The man that I saw placed in the car matches a general description of the suspects they are looking for. However, we have no idea who these men are for sure. But this is what the police have been. The police, it was quite a chaotic scene. The police were yelling at each other back and forth across the street. The radio chatter. So all of this. Right now, there's just a lot of confusion. But the suspect was ordered to strip his clothes. It was quite tense. Once the suspect surrendered, they moved him fully undressed into a police vehicle. He was fully undressed. He was told to remove his clothing?
Yes, correct.
Right. And do you, going by the images you have seen, did he appear more like the suspect 1 or suspect 2 of the images that the FBI have released?
Now, of course, the two images are difficult. It's difficult to see exactly what they look like. But from the images that I've seen from the FBI press conference, they definitely look like suspect 1. He more resembled suspect 1. He was a thin, darker-skinned individual. And he was fully undressed and put into a police vehicle. Shortly after that, however, police chief was on the scene. They had a suspect, and they needed a positive ID. Now, that's all I heard, and that's all I know at this point.
All right. CNN photojournalist Gabe Ramirez, they're telling us that at this point, we understand that one of the suspects, we're going to just call him MIT gunman suspect. We're not going to make this link to the Boston Marathon bombing at this point until we get some sort of official confirmation on that. At this point, we understand that suspect was told to remove his clothing and was taken in custody. I want to go to our Jake Tapper, who is there at the scene to bring us some more information on this. Jake, what information do you have? Jake Tapper, can you hear me? We're live on CNN right now.
Oh, yes, I can hear you. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were talking to me. So I'm standing here right near the intersection where the Boston Marathon bombing took place. This is what's been going on in the last hour or so. First of all, there was a shooting at the campus of MIT. That's in Cambridge. That is roughly about a mile, I believe, that way. Just over the river. Just over the river. And there was a shooting there. An officer was killed there, according to local authorities. And then in addition to that, there is a huge scrum of police officers in the Watertown area. That is about 4 miles beyond where we are standing right now, right near where the Boston Marathon terrorist attacks took place. And the huge media scrum there are 2 suspects who have been apprehended. Now, at this moment, we do not know if the 2 suspects who have been apprehended in Watertown are related to either the shooting of the police officer at MIT or the Boston Marathon terrorist attacks. But, of course, this is a city on edge where there is a huge police presence. The idea that we're watching images of a big police presence in the Watertown area that has an FBI presence does seem unusual for a situation like this. But right now, in terms of the confirmed facts that we have, beyond the bombing that took place here in Boston on Monday, this evening, there was a shooting of an MIT police officer in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and then after that, there was a big police presence, and if you listen to police scanners, and obviously not everything you hear on a police scanner is accurate information, but there were reports of guns, there were reports of explosives, and now we are told by the police officer on the ground there in Watertown that there were 2 suspects that have been apprehended in Watertown, Massachusetts, about 4 miles from the scene of the crime of the terrorist attacks here in Boston, Massachusetts. So that is what we know as of right now, right this minute.
And Jake, although we don't know what sort of link there is to, as you suggest, either the shooting, the deadly shooting of the MIT police officer, or the Boston Marathon blasts, It is a comfort for people in Boston to hear that these two suspects have been apprehended. We were talking to CNN photojournalist Gabe Ramirez, who witnessed one of those suspects apparently had to remove his clothing and was taken naked into custody. Just be interested if there's any more information on the other suspect and whether they were taken pretty much in the same area, close by to each other.
The information we have as of right now, and of course, as we know, in situations like this, the first information is not always the accurate information, but the information we have right now is that there was an officer killed in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where MIT is. There also was a carjacking in MIT, and then two suspects were apprehended in Watertown, just beyond the MIT campus in Cambridge. Those two suspects were apparently apprehended in tandem. That is, they were apprehended at the same time. As you can hear, there are a lot of sirens in Boston right now, a lot of sirens in the area. You're going to see some coming by me right now. We do not know whether or not these two suspects apprehended by the police and the FBI at this early hour in the morning are necessarily related to the shooting in Cambridge or to the terrorist attack in Monday. But, you know, generally speaking, I think it's fair to say that a lot of people are very suspicious that they might be related.
Yeah, indeed. A lot of people making that assumption. But, Jake, give us an idea if you have seen any FBI presence nearby.
Well, we haven't seen an FBI presence here right now where we are. We are right now standing at the intersection of Huntington and Dartmouth. We're not far from the Back Bay area where the terrorist attacks took place on Monday. It is a scene of a crime. It is a police. You can't cross the lines here. The police tape. It is a crime scene. But there has been historically in the last week here an FBI presence, a police presence. The Joint Terrorism Task Force has been there. It is unusual that there would be FBI involved in a crime in Watertown, Massachusetts, if this were not a federal issue, obviously. And that's why we are now covering this and why I'm up in the middle of the night. But in terms of facts that we know for certain, we do not know that what's going on in Watertown or in Cambridge is necessarily related to what happened here on Monday.
And Jake, I do want to keep you talking on this because there is so much activity behind you and, of course, so much interest, and we're going right across the globe. A lot of people hoping that this would be a good conclusion to what had happened at the Boston on Monday at the marathon. But, of course, we emphasize that no official link has been made here at all. But if we might just go back over what we do know, because there is comfort in knowing that these two suspects have been taken into custody, whoever they may be.
Well, let's just go over the events since 5 o'clock Eastern time this evening. And right now it's roughly 1:30 in the morning here in Boston, Massachusetts. Since that time, the FBI has released photographs of two individuals whom they suspect to be suspects in the Boston terrorist attacks. Since that time, that announcement was made shortly after 5 o'clock Eastern p.m. this evening, there was another photograph that the New York Times verified that seemed to have been an even better picture, an even better image of one of the suspects, the one with the white baseball cap as opposed to the one with the black baseball cap. That individual's face was seen better in a picture that was posted on Facebook, and the person, you're looking at the picture right now, there you go. And that person who posted that on Facebook said that the FBI had contacted him, said that that was the best quality photograph they had seen of this individual. The New York Times verified that. Then, since that happened this evening, there was a shooting of a police officer at MIT in Cambridge, just roughly over the river, about a mile over that way. And then after that happened, and there was a carjacking on that campus as well, 2 suspects were apprehended in Watertown, New York, which is roughly 3 miles beyond that, about 4 miles. And I apologize if I'm not getting my geography exactly right. I am not from Boston, but I think that's roughly correct. So in any case, we don't know that it is all related, but we do think that it is suspicious that the FBI has been involved in apprehending 2 suspects in Watertown, Massachusetts, and this carjacking took place all within the hours after all this information was released about the suspects that the FBI is looking for because